Good afternoon, everybody. I appreciate everybody taking time out of their day this afternoon and joining me for this webinar that I'm going to be demonstrating what I believe to be your saving grace, this AEP, the Sunfire Medicare quote and enrollment platform that allows you to quote and compare any carrier in your region and then submit enrollments and applications for the national carriers that you have contracted and ready to sell with through CAFL, to include United Healthcare, Aetna, Humana, Cigna, WellCare, Anthem, and amongst others. So uh, this presentation this afternoon will show you the how to log into the system, of course, how to create your profile, how to create your phone number for call recording capabilities, how to establish your signature for electronic signatures using the Blaze Sync URL. That will be really help simplify your business processes, this AEP. That Blaze Sync also includes the scope of appointment form. And of course, I'll show a demonstration of how to do quotes and comparisons and enrollments. So before we do begin and get into the heart of the presentation, I just like to introduce myself. For those that don't know, I am Rob Jambroni with Capital Insurance, the Senior Manager for Medicare Division, and going into my 18th AEP and what I anticipate to be one of the more challenging, but one filled with tremendous opportunities. To ask any questions that you might have during this presentation, just please type that into the chat feature there on Zoom, and I'll be sure to address the questions at the conclusion of the presentation. To log into Sunfire, this is the link that you will use. It's specific to the contracts that you have with through CAFL. Your username will be your email address that you have on file for your Medicare carriers. And the password format is a capital X, #, your NPN, and then the first three letters of your last name. If you're trying to access the site and that password does not work, please reach out to me and I can have it reset if needed. So with that, I'm going to now go into show you how to use Sunfire. So when you log into Sunfire, this will be the main page that you see. This is going to be your dashboard. And one of the first steps I recommend for new users who are accessing it for the first time is you want to make sure that you have your profile established. Your profile is accessible through the your middle initial, excuse me, your initial of your first name in the top right corner. So click on that. And then you'll have your profile page. You can import an image, and you want to make sure that your information is correct with your NPN. And then you want to establish any notifications, how you want to receive any notifications. And then one of the first things you want to do is establish your dialer phone number for call recording capabilities. This is a tremendously simple process. You'll want to click on Add Phone. And when you click on Add Phone, you'll then be prompted to be able to choose an area code in which you work, one that your clients are most familiar with, and then it'll auto assign you a phone number that you will be able to use for call recording capabilities to compliantly record calls and enrollments that are not face-to-face per CMS regulations. Then you'll need to establish your signature using the mouse to scribble a signature for that will be attached to enrollments that you submit. and then set up any multi-factor authentication codes and which is required with Sunfire to log in correctly and compliantly. Now to show you one of the best features of Sunfire, I wanted to uh, be sure to show you this. The Blaze Sync URL will be your saving grace this AEP. Absolutely. This tool, this URL, allows you to send that to your clients for them to complete and enter their prescription drugs, their doctors, and any other pertinent Medicare information. It also includes the scope of appointment form. And then once they've completed that, you'll get a notification that's been completed and it will be automatically uploaded to your dashboard. When your client gets that, this is what they will receive. It'll say they'll get a notice with an email. They'll click on the link, and this link will say, "Hi, have your name, the advisor's name, and they'll be able to complete their Medicare guide, and they're providing you with the information that you need to successfully do an enrollment and helping them determine the best plans for them. You'll enter their demographic, the client will enter their information for these purposes. And because tonight's a Thursday night Bills game, I'll use Go Bills as the uh, information here for these training purposes. You can enter your doctor's names, and the medications you can enter. The client will be entering, their medications. So, can enter um, the frequency. Most are doing 3 month and 3 months, or once they've entered their medications, they can skip and go forward. Is asked about a pharmacy, which pharmacy they use, and then it takes you to the scope of appointment form, which is a very simple means for them to complete this. They just select the plans that they want to be informed about. Client indicates if they're signing for themselves or if they have a power of attorney or if someone else is signing on their behalf. Sign and complete. And then the agent will get a notification that their client has completed that, and it'll appear now on the agent's dashboard. So here's the completed form for the client. The first thing that you want to do when the agent, when you get this, is to make sure that the scope of appointment form is completed and that you then sign the scope of appointment form, and it shows then that uh, it's compliant, received within the first, you're signing it within that 48-hour time frame. And by you signing it, it's signed now. It's that simple that you just click on that, and it attaches your signature that you've completed in your profile. So now the scope of appointment form is completely is out of the way and compliantly done. So now once the scope of appointment form has been completed, you can move forward with the quoting and the eventually the enrollment. When you get to your dashboard and you're doing the enrollment, it's important to go down to the left-hand side and click, make sure this is not clicked. You don't want to have show only appointed plans because Sunfire is only showing plans that you are certified with through CAFL, the national carrier. So if you're certified with any of the regional carriers like Excelis, Sunfire wouldn't indicate whether or not you're ready to sell with that plan because it's not, their enrollment platform is not tied to Sunfire. So make sure that you don't have that enabled. And then you have all the carriers appear that are available in your area. So you can then go forward and doing comparisons for the competitive options for the carriers for your client. You want to make sure too that if you're doing a enrollment that's outside of AEP and you're doing enrollment, say you have a client right now that's turning 65 in October and they're only going to have a Medicare Advantage plan for the remainder of the year, you want to make sure that you're selecting the time period to begin the first of that following month. Also, let me back up just a little bit and advise you of the dialer phone program, which is very simple to be able to compliantly record your calls. So after you have acknowledged you've made showing that you're showing all the available carriers, whether you're appointed with them or not, then you want to make sure if you're meeting with a client that's not face to face and you need to have it recorded, you're not using other call recording capabilities like through Zoom or something. You wanted to use the Sunfire dialer program. It's very simple. You click on Start Dialer Phone. It'll show you that the number that's been assigned to you up here. And then you would want to click on Make a Call. When you click on Make a Call, I'm going to just see if I can switch it to a different number. Call and start recording. And the reason I wanted to show you this is because it's calling my cell phone and it shows you, it automatically comes up the disclosure. And the disclosure is there for you to read directly to your client so you can be in compliance with CMS. So for these purposes, I'm not going to go through that recording, but it's a very simple, easy to use compliant tool that's available through Sunfire. Also, so when now that you're going forward and proceeding with the quoting, you're going to you can compare up to three plans at a time. Also, to keep in mind too that some of the plans that may be available in your area, they could be suppressed from electronic enrollment. For instance, this is a for October 1st effective date for the client, and for instance, United Healthcare's plans in this region are suppressed on the platform as of October 1st. So even though I'm appointed and ready to sell with United Healthcare, it's not showing on this tool. Again, for commissionable purposes, but if you did want to show your client those plans, know that they are available to enroll in. They're suppressed on these platforms because they likely don't pay a commission. So to proceed, you could using the email functionality is going to email them the ones that you have appointed and ready to sell with through Sunfire, like those national carriers. However, with not having all of the appointed carriers available through Sunfire, I'd use the compare tool that compares all of the plans in a side-by-side comparison for your client. And then you can print it to a PDF and send your client the PDF. It's an excellent outline, very simple, easy to read, side-by-side comparison of the plans that are most applicable for your client. These plans also then will show you the drug cost details, of course. Um, I happen to just pick some drugs here. One not indicating on the formulary, but it was a really inexpensive. Uh, Wanted to point out too, in certain situations, that sometimes your clients will, if they've completed the prescription drug intake on their own, uh, sometimes you'll go through it and realize that maybe your client misentered information. They put in a solution that they take rather than a tablet. In most cases, it's the tablet that they do take, but the system prompted them to select a solution, a liquid form of the medication. So oftentimes, if it says that the liquid form is not uh, on the formulary, I often go in and change it to a tablet, and then it'll show as on the formulary. But each of the plans then have the monthly drug costs and showing your client as to what they can expect for their out-of-pocket expenses for the duration of the plan that they are going to enroll in. So to proceed, if you wanted to now to do an enrollment, you can go through an enrollment process. I can't complete it in its entirety because I don't have an MBI obviously affiliated with Go Bills, but there are I'll show you the everything up until the point of the uh, signature process. So you're meeting with your client. You want to make sure that the doctor that has been inputted is one that is in network. You can use it to search any providers. Before we do begin that enrollment process, I wanted to also make sure that you can use this tool, and it's important to do it before you begin the application, uh, that you use the customer profile link to establish that their Medicare is effective. You want to ask them that this compliance question and then put in their Medicare number, their date of birth and their zip code, and that will then indicate the client's Medicare eligibility and their Medicare. It'll show you their Medicare Part A and Part B effective dates. If the client is on Medicaid, this tool will also verify the Medicaid status that they have. If they're a fully qualified Medicaid beneficiary or a partial, it'll show you that level that they have and the applicable uh, plans that they would be eligible for. To begin, so now it goes right into the enrollment process, asking questions like, are you currently enrolled in the Medicare Advantage or prescription drug plan? If you were to choose yes on this, you can enter the client's plan that they're on. And then when you do that, it'll show a comparison as to what the plan is, new plans would be available versus the current plan that they already are enrolled in. Answering this question is optional. It does allow you to give your client a better estimate of what their out-of-pocket costs would be throughout the year, depending on how often they plan to use their medical benefits. My recommendation is that you don't want to give your client any sort of estimate because you know insurance is for the unpredictable. So I always like to give them what the worst case scenario would be, and then they understand going into it what to expect throughout the year. So if someone says they rarely use their health benefits, and you're saying that their out of pocket could be this, and then they have unforeseen circumstances, and they have a lot of medical benefit, a lot of use of it, and they get closer to the out of pocket maximum, that can be misconstrued to their client. So here are all the medications that the client entered. And then you also have the option to ask your client focus questions as to what added benefits or extra benefits in a Medicare Advantage plan that are important to them. And again, this is an optional question, and it's one that uh, I don't often ask or not recommending that agents ask this question because again, it can limit the options that are available to them. So I'd like to see that all the options that are available to the client are, you're being fully transparent uh, to your client in this process. So you'll click on View All Plans. Again, making sure that that appointed plans only is not engaged. And we'll go forward with an enrollment. Asking your client these compliant questions. Do you understand the benefits included in the plan? Asking your client their preferred method of contact. Would you like to receive plan materials by email? Uh, just to be aware that if you clients answer that yes, it is strictly then by email and they do not get anything in the mail. They don't get any hard copies in the mail. Residential address. The race and ethnicity question is optional. So you can ask your client if they're comfortable answering that. They can. So this tool is very intuitive. If you've made a mistake on the application where you enter the address in the wrong spot on the application, it'll go back and prompt you to correct that. Now you'll have to enter your client's Medicare information, their Medicare number, which again is available through the customer profile. Um, if I had to go back and click on the customer profile to get the Medicare number, then it would start the application over. So entering all that information, are you enrolled in Medicaid assistance? You have to choose the election period. Indicate the proposed effective date, ask other additional questions. And if I were to click next, it'll show me that, again, I didn't enter all that information. I have to make sure that's entered correctly. But then once everything's entered correctly, you will have the application in front of you to review with your client, making sure that all the information has been entered correctly and is valid, and review the plan with them and have them sign. The signature portion is very simple. The signature portions that are available are to either text it to your client and they can get a prompt on their smartphone that asks them to acknowledge the enrollment. You can email it to your client for signature, or you can do an electronic signature. And the electronic signature portion means that as long as the conversation is being recorded, whether it's via Zoom or through the Sunfire platform, and your client has given you authority to sign on their behalf, you can type in your client's name on the application and the date, and then submit, and it's submitted to the carrier. If they've chosen the email signature or the text signature, I often recommend that you wait on you wait with them as they complete that, and making sure that then you've got notice that it's been signed and it's at the carrier for processing. Once everything has been signed, then it'll show on your dashboard with the stat, it'll be say submitted. Now for final enrollment status, you do need to check with the carrier to making sure that the carrier has accepted it and it's been submitted to CMS and approved by CMS for the requested effective date. Some other features of Sunfire. In addition to just Medicare Advantage, just want to make sure that you understand that you can quote and enroll for Part D plans, standalone prescription drug plans, Medicare supplements, the special needs plans, and in states where it's available, the hospital indemnity or dental, vision, and hearing as well. This tool is extremely intuitive, very simple, easy to use, and it's going to really be uh, really help simplify your business process, especially during this AEP when there's a lot of turnover in the market with various plans throughout the country that are terminating plans, or there's going to be service area reductions. You're going to really want to use this tool to making sure that uh, you're helping simplify that process for you and your clients. Now for some additional features that we provide here at CAFL. Want to go back to the presentation. Second. We have excellent training resources available for all of our advisors to uh, show you how to use Sunfire. If you're having any difficulty with logging in, please feel free to reach out. And again, I can help establish your username and password. Our library, our training site is tremendous, and I will show you that on our website. So what is best about this is that the Sunfire training videos that they have are specific to each portion of the Sunfire platform. So you're not looking at like a 50-minute presentation to show you how to use Sunfire from A to Z. They're really breaking it down to cover each different segment, like quoting, how to set up your profile, how to use the call recording technology. They're all very short, simple videos to for you to review. And a link to our training site is there on the screen, and I'm logging into that right now to show you just how to navigate it. Just a second. And this is our Sunfire training site. So under our Medicare section, after you log in, click on Sunfire. And you have access to the link to access the Sunfire tool, what your username would be, and the password format. And then a training video, a full library of training videos is tremendous. It has very, like I said, small segmented videos to showing you exactly what each step of Sunfire for you to learn how to use it, in addition to a full length video and demonstration as well. There's also a link to the training site that you can use to practice an enrollment before meeting with a client for the first time. And with that, I wanted to open it up for any questions that anybody have. I see a few have come in through the chat, and I will review those in just a moment. Yeah, I will be resending out a video. This is being recorded, and I'll sure to send out the a video recording of this to show you that how to use the Sunfire with all of the information from logging into the process to quoting enrollment and setting up your profile. If your client, can you use the Blaze Sync link yourself if you didn't want to send it to your clients? Yes, you could do that, entering your client's information when you're meeting with them, and then have it uploaded to your uh, profile. However, I can let you know that uh, if, of the clients that have used this and are using it to enroll on a frequent basis, all are finding it very simple and easy to use. Even those who are think that they're not computer savvy. They're really easy to navigate, entering the information. The medications are auto-filled, like I showed you, with just putting in the first four letters of the medication's name will populate the medications, and being able to really help streamline the process for your clients. Yes, all of the non if the non-commissionable plans are not suppressed, There still will be an indication on Sunfire that says there'll be like a little badge that says non-commissionable. Once the call, if you're recording the calls, it will be saved to your uh, profile in Sunfire, and it'll be saved for the compliant period, I think, of 10 years. And with regards to uh, authentication, yeah, you want to set up either a text functionality for that or email to establish that um, two-factor authentication. One of the main things that we have found to be so successful is in advance of the AEP, you can send out compliant messages to your clients now, and telling them that you anticipate uh, if you're in an area that has a lot of service area reductions, that you anticipate uh, lots of plan terminations and some challenges this Medicare enrollment season, and that you asking your clients to complete the information and schedule a time to meet. So you can start those communications now using that Blaze Sync URL, sending that out to your clients, making sure that they've completed that and that you're all ready to go when you meet with them during AEP. Again, if anybody has any questions, please feel free, don't hesitate to reach out. You see my number there on the screen. It's 585 2920. And my email there, rjambroni@kafl.com. And again, appreciate everybody's business and really glad to appreciate the opportunity to help guide you through this AEP. And don't hesitate to reach out with any questions, call, text, or email. So hope everybody has a great rest of your day and have a happy and successful AEP ahead. Thank you for joining me.